Andrew Sadek was born on November 22, 1993, in Valley City, North Dakota. He was raised to be a hard-working farm kid, with a great family. Andrew was a good student and graduated from Valley City High School. He was off to college. Andrew was a great college student too. He was studying to be an electrical technician at NDSCS in Wahpeton. Andrew had a bright future. Like many college students, Andrew occasionally experimented with marijuana. It didn't impact his school work at all, and he was a great student. He sold marijuana to his close friends. Small amounts, more as a favor. It was clearly a petty operation. He sold a small amount to a friend of a friend. This person was a narc. Typically, a first-time petty offender, with no criminal record like Andrew, will get a very lenient sentence. Similar cases resulted in probation. SEMCA searched his dorm. They didn't find anything other than trace amounts of marijuana. He admitted it was his and was not charged. The next day, Andrew met with Jason Weber. He was the Richland County deputy and SEMCA agent. Weber informed Andrew he was being charged with 2 felonies. He faced up to 40 years in prison and a $40,000 fine. All for $80 worth of marijuana. Weber says most of this can go away if he becomes a CI. Andrew agrees. North Dakota has draconian marijuana laws. They have an escalator clause that was intended for elementary schools, not adults on a college campus. The police abuse it. Even today, it's a felony to possess hash or concentrates on a college campus. Who uses marijuana on campus? Back to Andrew. He agrees to make 4 buys in exchange for getting the felonies dropped. During the interrogation, Weber asks Andrew if he could buy hard drugs in Fargo, like LSD. Wahpeton is a tiny town of 7,000. Fargo is a major metro of 250,000. It's a far more dangerous proposition.
Probably not what you want to be doing on your birthday, huh? Probably a good thing. Alright, well, you expressed interest that you probably want to help yourself out.
Yeah.
Okay, like I said, you're facing 2 felonies, and then, of course, a misdemeanor charge from yesterday. 2 felonies of deliveries, since they took place on campus, both of them, they're enhanced, so they're Class A felonies. 20 years in prison, $20,000 fine, and or both. Okay, so potentially the max is 40 years in prison, $40,000 fine. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, you're probably not going to get 40 years, but is it a good possibility that you're going to get some prison time? If you don't help yourself out, yeah, there is. Okay, that's probably not a way to start off your young adult life and career, right? What I'm going to ask for you to do is to do some buys for me then. Okay, where you'd have to wear a wire, you'd have to go buy marijuana from individuals, and then, you know, depending upon how you do and so forth, you know, a lot of this could go away. You know, is it all going to go away? Probably not. Are you going to probably have to plead guilty to like maybe a misdemeanor possession of marijuana? Probably, you know. But at least you're not pleading guilty to felonies. Okay, is that fair enough?
Very fair.
Okay. You don't know any football players on campus or anything that sells that you can buy from or anything?
No.
So if you could buy some LSD in Fargo? Or can you buy anything other than marijuana? Not saying it's for you, but could you go say it's for a buddy?
Try.
Okay. But let's say we get done where your charges are worked off type deal, and let's say you know a few more people and you want to go buy and make some cash. It's you can make some pretty good cash, and I'd be willing to pay you for that if you want to entertain that idea later. You go buy some marijuana, if it takes you 5 minutes, you'll get paid $100 to do a deal. If you go buy meth, pills, whatever, you get paid $200. So, quick, easy cash. If you want, after you work off deals, you know some more people if you want to make money. It's just that we don't give you a W-2 at the end of the year. You understand that?
Okay.
Okay. We could probably entertain that idea. Set you up with Fargo. That's the different task force, but if you're willing to help them out, give you a credit down here.
Andrew makes 3 buys. He has 1 left to clear his name. He visited his parents on the weekend of April 25th. He went back to Wahpeton and talked to his mom on the phone briefly. Everything seemed normal. That was his last conversation with his mom. On April 30th, he watched a movie with friends at his dorm and went to sleep. His roommate noticed he wasn't home when he woke up. He assumed he went to see his girlfriend. Andrew did not attend classes that day and had not returned by the next afternoon. Google and friends reported him missing to NDSCS campus police. Security cameras captured Andrew leaving the building after 2 a.m. on May 1st. He was wearing jeans and a Tampa Bay hoodie with a backpack. Unfortunately, that was the last ever image of Andrew Sadek seen alive. Andrew's parents pleaded with him publicly to come home. SEMCA issued a warrant for Andrew's arrest. On June 27, 2014, Andrew's body was found in the Red River, near Breckenridge, Minnesota. Two months later, the autopsy report stated the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the head. Since Andrew's parents were missing a .22 pistol, the police ruled it a suicide. Andrew's parents believe he was murdered. His body had a backpack full of rocks tied to him. This was an obvious attempt to weigh down the body. Despite a search by a police dive team, the gun was never found. His wallet was missing and his car was still on campus. Andrew's mom, Tammy Sadek, said Andrew's car was wet, and there was an inch of water in the trunk. Someone told her they saw 3 people cleaning a car similar to Andrew's the night of his disappearance. However, the security cameras were malfunctioning that night. Nobody close to Andrew believes he was suicidal. He had a girlfriend, was weeks away from graduating, and had a job lined up. He had already made 3 of the 4 buys. 1 more, and he was off the hook. It's more plausible to believe the missing gun was for self-defense. If it was a suicide and the body was weighed down with rocks, the weapon should have been easy to find. It would drop to the bottom of the river like a rock. Wouldn't a backpack full of rocks prevent someone from swimming to a deep area? The most obvious scenario is he was murdered by drug dealers. If someone found out he was working as a confidential informant, his life would have been in danger. Wahpeton is a small town. People talk. How that happened is unknown. But there are dozens of plausible theories. Many people blame Jason Weber for the death of Andrew Sadek. Weber was once quoted on a 2020 interview saying, "A drug dealer is a drug dealer." They don't blame him directly. They say he trumped up the charges and put him in a dangerous situation with no training. Was it a suicide or a murder? No matter what happened, many people feel Andrew died because of the failed war on drugs. Particularly, the failed war on marijuana. A benign plant that nobody has ever died from. It's the second most commonly used drug on the planet after alcohol. Many argue, Andrew would still be alive if marijuana was legal. Whether you approve or disapprove of marijuana use, people use it. Most people agree that prohibition creates a dangerous underground world. One with enforcers, collectors, and thugs. If marijuana was legal, drug cartels wouldn't exist. You would simply buy your weed from a dispensary. Similar to going to a liquor store. Task forces targeting petty marijuana dealers on college campuses wouldn't exist. They could better focus their efforts on dangerous drugs like meth or heroin. Andrew's Law was passed. It requires a CI goes through training. They tried, but failed to remove the felony escalator clause for college campuses. It's still being used to this day. Sound familiar? Learn from history. We already tried alcohol prohibition, and it failed. Andrew's family is still searching for the truth. On November 8, 2022, Jason Weber will be running for Richland County Sheriff.